Okay. Financial Express, we seem to be out of news in that because the rest of the paper, which is more than 50%, is just ads. And here we go with Business Standard. The first few pages are full-fledged. It just shows you the state of these papers. EU carbon tax seeks to double punish India, says our finance minister.
So the EU is basically puts carbon tax on because they want to go more in green.
Reduce carbon emission.
Yeah, and we as a country do not. We have not yet gone this far in
Becoming green.
So they have one companies which produce more carbon. They have a tax, and so the EU is trying for a free trade agreement with India, and that's what she has protested against that.
Government looks at steel import monitoring system for template. May mandate prior registration of India-bound items.
This is because it's already there. What this basically does is, we have discussed this laptop imports.
Yes.
So these laptop imports now, a lot of pushback has happened. The American Commerce Secretary's representative has taken up the matter with Piyush Goyal, and they want India to push out this. And a lot of companies have said there will be a big shortage. So instead of getting a license for this, what the government is saying is, you register it. Like what steel importers have registered, so that the government can monitor how much products are coming from China. Now the government has done a U-turn and saying that this basically comes from China, and because it comes from China, we want to stop it. But the fact remains that there is no way we can stop import of laptops and tablets because India is primarily running on a software services economy, which is giving us about $300 billion a year. So it will be shooting yourself on the foot.
This goes further to yesterday what we spoke. Kaushik Chatterjee, the executive director and CFO of Tata Steel, has said truly turning point for resetting competitiveness. About the Port Talbot.
Yes.
Unions are apprehensive about the switch from blast furnace to EAF, electric arc furnace, because it's going to cost them 3,000 jobs.
Yes.
So is this truly a turning point for Tata Steel? Do you think the UK government will...
The UK government has given £500 million. But there is an election in UK. We don't know whether the next government will honor it. But unless they decarbonize, the old blast furnace is not a decarbonize. It's not green steel. The electric arc furnace will make it green steel, which will require an investment of $1.25 billion, which I said yesterday. But the problem is, if you do an electric arc furnace, nearly 3,000 people have to be let go, which will create a lot of job loss. The steelworks are the major employers there. So that is a problem which the government will have to grapple with.
Yes. Vedanta board will meet on September 21st to consider bond issue. Ani Agrawal promoted Vedanta on Saturday, said it proposes to hold a meeting of its committee of directors on Thursday, where they will consider the proposal of non-convertible debentures in the private placement basis.
Yes. This is basically about $6 to $7 billion of debt are coming for repayment.
Correct.
Repayment. Like I said, most of his earnings are in rupees and his loans are in dollars.
Correct.
Same thing happened to Anil Ambani. That is what is happening to him. So he needs dollars quickly. In between, there was a report that he's going to borrow from Stan Chart using his brand as security. And his companies are paying him a brand fee and he wanted to discount it. That didn't go anywhere. Now he's trying to place an NCD. And it's an issue that I personally would not subscribe to.
I agree on that. Cement companies may see demand capacity expansion mismatch.
Basically, what is happening is, except perhaps in eastern portion of India, there's too much capacity already.
Correct.
And there are companies which are willing to add more capacities. So there will be a glut of capacity of cement in India. That's what they are trying to say. That we will not be, for the amount of cement that we are producing, there will be no demand. Also, China has huge capacities. With the collapse of the real estate market in China, more cement will come out into the open market.
One of the independent directors of Dhanalakshmi Bank is resigned. Sridhar Kalyana Sundaram. Inputs are being ignored, he said. He said regarding shareholder allegations and MD CEO appointments of 2021 was not in order, fraudulent with discrepancies.
Yeah, but Sridhar Kalyana Sundaram was keeping quiet till today.
Correct.
What happened in 2021, he is resigning in 2023.
Correct.
That means he is not being taken care of. But the Dhanalakshmi Bank is a bank which has been in serious trouble for the last 10 years. Anand Ambani tried to buy it, then he sold it. I do not know who are the promoters. It's a bank perpetually in trouble, serious trouble.
FIIs pull out 4,800 crores on concern over global growth.
But 4,500 crores.
800.
4,800 crores has been sold in the first 15 days.
Correct.
This is not because this is rear view mirror driving. You are trying to find a reason for the money to go out. The only reason why money is going out is because there's a huge froth in the system.
Correct.
And the retail investors have pushed the markets way beyond its fair value, and a certain amount of profits are being booked. And I have repeatedly warned people that they should book some profits and take the money.
France to sell fuel at loss to curb inflation. They want to control inflation.
Finally, what India did for so long, under Manmohan Singh, even Europe is doing. They believe they have to take some losses. They cannot pass the fuel hikes price because already interest rates are very high, and the price of fuel feeds into the market. So what Manmohan Singh, he gave a subsidy and borrowed into the petrol bonds. That's similar to what France is doing today.
$188 billion dollar market exodus. Decoupling of China from the rest of the world accelerates. Foreign holding on nations' equities and debt have fallen by about $188 billion from December peak of 2021.
As I'm telling you, if you look at the Hong Kong market, it has gone back 20 years. This level was there in 2001. It's beyond 2008. China has entered a deflationary space and has become more like Japan. The sad story is that Japan began its deflation after it became a rich nation. Here, even before the Chinese can call themselves rich, this deflation has started, making it extremely tragic. Whatever Xi Jinping is doing is making things extremely bad.
Accelerating it, yes.
Yeah.
Cops detain some Evergrande Wealth Management unit staffers.
Yeah. But how can you make employees responsible when the state policy was to push education,
Correct.
to push apartments as a means of recovering money? Finally, they wanted to recover money from how can you blame employees when the state pushed real estate as a method to come out of problems in 2008? They built a lot of flats where nobody had to stay. 80% Chinese home ownership is at 80%. There are no rental yields. Property prices have fallen. And like I said in a previous video with what Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett said, the prices of house are falling and people are simply giving the keys to the bankers.
Correct.
How can you blame Evergrande for that?
Irregular monsoon could dilute recovery in rural demand. FMCG companies push cart on margin worries made heavy by commodity cost.
If you remember yesterday, I talked about that Financial Express thing.
Yes.
This is what I am trying to say, that rural demand is going to sink.
Correct.
Because monsoon has been irregular. Yes. August was the worst. September is following, and definitely things are going to get bad before they get to better. And therefore, demand in FMCG and two-wheelers is going to struggle. In another newspaper, Rajiv Bajaj of Bajaj Auto says nobody has money to buy 100cc bikes.
Correct.
So I'm thinking of stopping making 100cc bikes altogether.
Correct. That seems to be all the news we have. Rest of it is just ads and more ads.
Yeah. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. आपने इस पॉडकास्ट में उपस्थित हुआ इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. आप इस वीडियो को लाइक कीजिए, बेल नोटिफिकेशन दबाएं, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. अगर आप इस चैनल पसंद आया तो इस वीडियो को अपने दोस्त और रिश्तेदार के पास भेजें और उनको देखने के लिए आग्रह करें. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार. जय हिंद. I told you that I will be in Riyadh on the 22nd of September. The event place was not fixed. The team has now decided the event. It's in the Holiday Inn Riyadh. Those who are in and around Riyadh and desirous of meeting me may contact the WhatsApp address below or the email. My team would get in touch with you.